Hello, fellow Bitcoiners slash investors slash humans. Hope you're all well. Thank you for joining me for another one of my videos. It is a beautiful Sunday here in Wales. I hope the weather is as pleasant wherever you are. Um, it's a funny one, right? Chaos is reaping its way around traditional financial markets, aka TradFi, and yet Bitcoin's not done anything. It's literally gone sideways over the last 4 days, as you can see right here. There was a little bit of volatility, which I already reported on around. Um, what did Trump call the day? Not Independence Day, obviously, that one's already been used a few times. Liberation Day, yeah, Liberation Day, where you introduce tariffs and then crash TradFi like there is no tomorrow. Comparable to COVID. It's amazing, isn't it? That's that to me demonstrates many things with regard to traditional finance. One per, apparently one person's decision. Well, I feel like it's unlikely. I'm sure that was discussed amongst him and his colleagues. Um, so a small group of people's decision has a profound effect on the economy. That, by definition, is a centralized system in complete opposition to Bitcoin, the decentralized system. That could, yeah, it may react. Bitcoin's price movements are always related to that, or the price action of Bitcoin is always going to be related to supply and demand, buying and selling. It just is. Um, but not in the manner that a group of individuals can have a significant impact on it. So yeah, it makes me even more bullish for Bitcoin, and I don't think mine will be the only voice that says something similar. Anyway, let's get on with the price action analysis. So having said all that, will Bitcoin move back down and follow TradFi? Well, maybe, but so far it hasn't broken down like Wall Street, like the Nasdaq, amongst a few. So the Magnificent Seven, blah blah blah. You could go on. So yeah, let's go on with it. So this is I just changed my asset assessment screen here to include this RSI indicator, which is the same as I had previously. It's just got a couple of um, levels broken down, much like the MACD. So I thought that was quite useful. Yeah, you can see on the day, so in a low volatility environment on the daily time frame here, with Bitcoin residing below the midpoint's coming in at 85. So if volatility was to expand from here on the daily, you'd want Bitcoin back above 84.5 at minimum. But actually, for that volatility to be price action going to the upside, it needs to be above 88. And really, that level between 88 and 90k for me now for Bitcoin is the sort of pivot area from this daily downtrend to one of an upsided trend. So we'll see what happens. I say it's got a chance. I would probably be a bit more bullish if the rest of the financial world wasn't in a crisis at the moment. Um, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Let's have a look at the weekly. You can see the weekly here is just doing what it has done over the last, well, definitely 4 weeks, but really 6 weeks. It's just been going sideways, hovering around the low 80s. Crucially, it's below the midpoint of the Bollinger Band still, but also crucially, and that's coming in at 95, but also crucially, there's not really any volatility expansion to the downside on this weekly downtrend. And remember, no, on this weekly time frame. Remember, if you get volatility expansion, this is my opinion, but it's kind of taking a fact too, for Bitcoin. And if that is a volatility expansion to the downside, that's a bear market. Okay, so not there yet. Hopefully, it won't be there for some time. But yeah, price is living below the midpoint of the Bollinger Band. This is starting to look a lot more like this. So the awful 6 month sideways price action, which I'm hoping we're not getting back into, but who knows. The difference between the current price action and this massive consolidation, and the more similarity between this price action and this, was the pivot relative to the midpoint of the Bollinger Band, right? So you can see that when volatility can start to constrict to get very low on this weekly time frame, the price action was already below the midpoint, right? When volatility truly contracted on this of this price action, the price was below the Bollinger Band, and it remained below that until basically volatility expanded, and that was when price was above the midpoint, and then it went to the races. This consolidation was a bit more bouncy, and ultimately it was predominantly to the downside, but without volatility expansion. And then when the volatility expansion occurred, the price was above the midpoint. So we'll see what happens. I can't predict the future. No one can, despite what many people claim. But I do wonder if this section is going to look a bit more like this section. And this section went on for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 8 weeks, so about 2 months below the Bollinger Band before it then closed above and then got volatility expansion to the upside. So far we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is about the 5th week. So, we'll see what happens, but maybe another month or so below 95. Boring. Everyone gets bored. That would take date-wise, where that would take Bitcoin, or that would take us towards the end of April. Will they just say sell in May and walk away? Will there be a move towards the end of April that then bleeds through the summer? Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. But for now, no volatility expansion on the weekly, so probably sideways. The daily is below the midpoint of the Bollinger Band, but also low volatility, so probably sideways. And I think I'll leave it at that for now. I feel like something's brewing for Bitcoin, but it hasn't proven itself yet. So I think downside pressure continues. However, it seems more like a sideways market for Bitcoin at the moment. And to be fair, with the chaos that's going on in TradFi, the longer Bitcoin holds above the March lows, which are 70, let's call it 75, the longer it holds above 75, even maybe with a retest down there, the stronger it looks compared to everything else. All right, take care, enjoy your Sunday, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.